The Honor 400 Pro is probably the best mid-range phone in 2025. And here is my long-term review to tell you why is that the case. So let's get started. First, it is a modern design. We have flat edges all around the device, a flat display. We have this pill cutout shape here that helps a little bit with depth information. It is not too special there, but it is still a very modern kind of design. It is not as thin on the sides and curved as the predecessor, which gives it a bit more grippability, and it's looking very nice also in this case. A link in the description, which is very nice. But also naked, it is a looker, as you see here. Flat design. And we have this matte finish on the edges, this nice silver kind of design here, which looks very modern and premium. So this is quite nice, even though the material here, especially on the edges, I think this is like plastic here, and the back seems also not like glass but more like plastic or some kind of glass plastic hybrid. It is still a pretty solid build and doesn't feel flimsy. You cannot press it in here or anything. It just feels like a premium mid-range smartphone should feel. And as it is raining right now, I think it's a good opportunity to tell you that this premium mid-range has also IP68 and 6.9 water and dust protection, which is also quite a bit of unusual for a mid-range phone to have such high ratings. The weakest point probably are the cameras on the Honor 400 Pro. We have a large main camera, 200 megapixel, 101.4. We have a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle and telephoto lens there as well. And also the front shooters are quite nice. But what Honor cheaped out on is a bit of the processing power, not the latest and greatest chips in here for sure. And you will see that also in the video it is quite over sharpened, over processed looking there. And for photos we have also this tendency to over sharpen the photo and maybe give it a little bit of a too much vibe, too much punch with the colors, which is sometimes coming off a little bit goofy. But gladly you can tweak some of the things. Over sharpening sadly not so much, but it can be for a mid-range phone definitely something that looks very nice. This is now a recording that I'm doing with the Honor 400 Pro's 200 megapixel main camera sensor. And this one for video I think is still okay, but you see a little bit the over sharpening, maybe the background blur that's a bit more busy here. We have a bit of a cloudy day, like I said, rainy day, but nevertheless, let's talk a little bit about the downsides of the Honor 400 Pro in terms of camera software, where they cheaped out a little bit. So the camera software has some limitations. Like I said, they are missing some modes, like the movie mode, which I really like, which applies real-time LUTs to the image. They are baked in LUTs only, so you cannot apply your own. But we have like the classic LUT, for example, which is very, very nice, that I like to use on the Magic 6 RSR, Magic 6 Pro, and the Magic 4 Ultimate. But it's missing here on the Honor 400 Pro, which is a bit of a shame because it would be, I think, a great inclusion. Then the other thing is we have a little bit of limitations in certain aspects. When recording video, for example, I have the ability to zoom in to 3x here, which is nice at 4K 30. I can zoom in even further, but if I want to zoom out now, you will see that it's not smoothly zooming out to 1x, it's just switching to the 1x sensor, which is a bit unfortunate because zooming in to 3x is working, zooming out to 0.5x is working. But the animation, if you are in between somewhere and want to switch to one of the lenses, is not there, which is, I think, I don't know why they're not doing it. Maybe it takes some processing power. But talking about processing power, we have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in here, which is last year's flagship processor, which makes me think they intentionally did not put it in because the Magic 6 Pro, Magic 6 RSR have the same processor. Hey, it has the ability to do this. So they just cheaped out a little bit by not tweaking the camera software so nicely as with the flagship phones, which is understandable because you want to have some price cuts here and there. But nevertheless, what do you think? This is the main camera sensor. We can also switch to the ultra-wide angle. You can see it has a nice smooth animation then. And this is the ultra-wide angle. Also not so shabby, I would say, but one of the weaker sensors for sure on this camera here. Together with the front-facing camera that is also a little bit weaker here. And this is basically everything that I can tell you about the cameras on the Honor 400 Pro. They are, for the price, adequate. but they're not mind-blowing. They're not as good as some other mid-range flagships, but still very, very solid with everything that they can do, because they have solid camera sensors. Even though they're not the best, all of them are solid. Where others have like maybe flagship grade main camera sensors, but then fall flat on its head when it comes to the tele and the ultra wide angle. This one has basically the same quality for the main, the ultra wide angle and the tele, which is, I think, then understandable that this here probably gives you the best setup overall in terms of cameras on a mid-range phone. As the battery is now falling under 20%, it's a good opportunity to talk a little bit about the battery. We have a 5300 mAh battery, which is quite large for a mid-range phone. In China, however, they have a 6000 mAh battery, which is even better. 100 watt wired charging, fast wired charging, and 50 watt wireless charging also on board. It's also quite interesting. You can see I have the MagSafe case here, link in the description by the way, which is quite nice, which helps me with charging. However, this case here has the issue that it cannot do fast wireless charging because of the magnets being a little bit misaligned. This is an issue that we have with the Honor phones from the start, that all the third-party cases have a bit of a misaligned this magnet here, magnet ring, which makes it a bit harder to charge them wirelessly. I had the same issue on the Magic 6 Pro and the Magic 6 RSR, so keep that in mind. And there might be a bit of an issue, and I noticed that. This is why I have to talk about it on my long-term review. I didn't have this issue on other fast wireless charging options from other manufacturers, so this is why I have to tell you about that. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, battery life pretty long, 8 hours of screen on time, no issue at all with this phone. And it is holding on also very nice in standby. So the standby drain is very, very slight only. So we have a very nice battery life here and fast charging for mid-range phone, which is like flagship worthy. Brightness of the display and fingerprint reader are quite good. You can see direct sunlight, the sun is like burning directly onto the display. I can clearly see what's on the display happening there. So the brightness of this display for mid-range phone is definitely very, very good, because I can read everything. It even beats some of the flagship Find X8 Ultra in terms of brightness of the display, outdoors, sunlight, visibility. Otherwise, the biometrics are quite good, even though the fingerprint reader, I think, is an optical one. Is it? Yes, I think it's an optical one. It is still handling the unlocking and locking pretty fast, and also the 2D face unlock is working quite nice. We have a two camera cutout here. Not sure what it's doing, but it's working much better than its predecessor in low light, in dark conditions, beating also all the other 2D face scans in low light. I don't see any IR blaster here that might cause this, but it is working in low light, in almost absolutely dark conditions, very nicely, just like a 3D face scanner on the Magic 7 or 6 series, which is quite nice and very, very helpful, especially when you want to unlock them in the dark where others fail. This one is working nicely. The operating system here on the Honor 400 Pro is a MagicOS 9, and in this case it is version 9.0.0.155. It comes with the usual nice tools and features of the MagicOS. It is heavily inspired by MotionUI because it shares some of the same code bases, but has some nice additions like swipe down for notifications and control center, like the possibility to long press on a symbol and go to your app info directly, which is not possible in your MotionUI. So they have evolved this operating system quite a bit. It is nice and smooth. Everything is like highly optimized for this operating system on this chip. We have nice features like the possibility to drag something out to the Magic Portal here, where I can change certain things or put them like into favorite space. I wish the favorite space would be more compatible with more applications, because dragging stuff in from the favorite space to certain apps is not possible. Otherwise, we have also the possibility to customize this quite a lot. They were inspired by Origin OS and offer such a menu here where we can change the layout. We have even historic layouts that we chose before. We can tweak our icon style. As you see here, we can choose how round the icons should be, hide the names. We have the effect for changing the desktops here. You can see there are different ones that we can use here. And we have some wallpaper tweaks as well. Lots of tweaks also for the control center. And of course the lock screen, and which allows us to edit our wallpaper there, change it up, use AI even to add a depth effect and so on. So it's a very nice addition, and yeah, it is, comparing to its similar older brother EMUI or Motion UI, definitely an improvement here, and some people might not even know it. Otherwise, what we have here are image to video, which is a nice AI feature. So in terms of AI features, there's a lot actually, and this one is a bit of a limited right now for free users. In future maybe even you have to pay for it, but I think it's like so and so many per day are allowed image creations. Very, very useful if you want to have an video out of an old image of people that probably are not alive anymore, or you don't have a video of, which is quite interesting. Otherwise, this operating system features everything that you need to have. Has nice animations, is running very, very fluid, has the possibility to resize your folders in that matter, that quick toggles are available, as you see here. And this allows me then to update certain things directly from the Google Play Store, which is quite nice. And we have other things there as well available that are very special to this operating system, like special widgets that we can add here as well. Let me try to add some special widgets. They're called cards in this case, and there you can see we have various different cards there that go beyond what Android offers in terms of widgets. But of course, Android widgets are also available here if you need them. But I like this stacking option, so I have a text widget here, and I have also the possibility to stack certain widgets on top of each other. Let's choose this, and I think I can card stack. Yes, it shows me how to do it, how I can stack certain widgets on top of each other and then have a card stack, which is quite nice as well. Regarding the software updates, this is version 9.0.0.155. You can see we are in September right now. This is still on July 2025 security patches. So apparently the security patches are not coming in regularly each month, but there are security patches coming definitely for this device. And I'm not sure, Honor is known to, like the Magic 6 series, for example, is not getting monthly security patches, even though it was last year's flagship. It's getting only quarterly or every third month security patch, which is a bit of unfortunate here. But this is the way it is. So this is something important that I have to tell you about the Honor 400 Pro. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the operating system, the smoothness, the speed of the operating system, as well as the updates that arrived here that also support the camera a little bit better, give you a little bit of better battery life. So in general, the Honor 400 Pro is definitely a flagship killer mid-range device, one of the best mid-range devices that you can get with last year's flagship processor, long update support, even though the updates are not coming each month regularly, at least on my device here. I think this is still a very, very good device. If you want the latest and greatest in terms of camera tech, and it has to be Honor, then the Magic 7 Pro is definitely, or 7 RSR is definitely the way to go. But if you want decent camera photos, but still very good battery life, a good operating system, and don't want to spend too much money, the Honor 400 Pro is the best compromise that you can get right now on the market for a device that has flagship specs, almost flagship specs from this year, last year's flagship specs, and good battery life, good display, everything that you might want to need. Some limitations here in terms of software, like I told you about the camera software not being the same level as the Magic series here. But still, this device is definitely something that I can fully recommend. And let's check out the ranking to see where it will land in the ranking. Here we have the ranking. You can see that the Honor 400 Pro is ranked number 5 here with 4.625 points. The Magic 6 Pro is a little bit higher at 4th place with 4.690 points. Where the big difference is to the last year's flagship phone, you can see the performance is even better on the 400 Pro. The same goes for the battery life. It's a bit better on the 400 Pro, even though it has a smaller battery. The display, however, is a bit weaker. No LTPO tag here, so the refresh rate cannot scale down, cannot save more battery here. It would be even better if it would have the same display as the Magic 6 Pro. Brightness levels, however, I think very similar to the Magic 6 Pro outdoors. I didn't notice much of a difference there. I would even say it's a bit better there on the 400 Pro for outdoor readability. It's just that the LTPO tag is not there to save a little bit more of the battery. And I think the resolution is slightly a bit weaker there on the 400 Pro, and maybe we have just on the Magic 6 Pro more software that helps us to enhance the clarity of certain things. Build quality is a bit weaker on the 400 Pro. You can feel that the back is not the same material as the predecessor, so there's not pure glass there, it doesn't break so easily, and the frame is more made out of plastic. At least it feels a little bit more plasticky than on the Magic 6 Pro for sure. That has, with vegan leather, definitely a little bit better build quality. Software experience is the same. Yes, there's some improvements here. We have more AI inside, we have more customizability, but it's just a nuance in difference that we have there that doesn't really affect the software experience between those two, because both of them have now the newest MagicOS 9, so nothing that you can see here. The camera wise is definitely weaker. This is the weakest point on the 400 Pro. The Magic 6 Pro has a flagship grade camera system here, and the Honor 400 Pro definitely has only a mid-range kind of camera system. Connectivity, both are the same here in the end result, but the Wi-Fi is a bit stronger on the 400 Pro. The GPS is a bit weaker on the 400 Pro, so it equals themselves out. And the storage support, there's a bit of, a little bit of weaker and slower storage build on the 400 Pro in comparison to the 600 Pro, or the 6 Pro, not 600 Pro. Audio and haptics is definitely weaker, the speakers are definitely weaker, and also the audio recording is definitely noticeably weaker on the 400 Pro when you use the internal mics for video recording. Security feature wise, also same quarterly updates now on the 400 Pro as on the Magic 6 Pro, and we are missing all the nice security chips that help us to protect our biometrics. That is included in the Magic 6 Pro. And the 3D face scan, of course, is missing. We only have a 2D one. It's a good one, 2D one, but it's not competing, of course, with the Magic 6 Pro's 3D one that you can also use for banking apps, for example. Then the other one, number 6 here, is the Pura X. Definitely weaker in terms of performance, definitely weaker in terms of battery life. Definitely weaker also in terms of display, especially different angles there in the sunshine and the brightness level. Build quality, however, is better, even better than the Magic 6 Pro. The software experience is a bit worse because we don't have Google support, we don't have Android support even. Yes, you can get Android apps containerized, but it's not the same experience as with the Harmony S4 system that you can see here, ranked number 7 on the Pure 70 Ultra, that has way better experience for that matter. Especially in the Western market. This might improve in the future if it opens up and has more Western apps as well as native apps there. Camera experience here is a bit stronger than the 400 Pro for sure, and the connectivity is also almost perfect there. It has very strong Wi-Fi on par with the 400 Pro, but also very strong GPS, a bit stronger Wi-Fi actually. And this is like getting it a little bit better. Also the cellular reception is a bit better. Keep in mind, Pura X here uses Huawei's own Kirin chip, and they're very good there, especially when it comes to mobile data download rates and so on, which is beating the Honor series of devices there. Storage-wise, it's faster as well. Audio and haptics is also a lot better because we have good, well-tuned sounding speakers there that sound fuller, more bassy than the Honor 400 Pro, and even not winning as the Magic 6 Pro. But why is the Magic 6 Pro then ranked lower here? Because the Magic 6 Pro has weaker haptics, and the Huawei Pura X has excellent haptics here, and this is what is getting it up a little bit, the score. But audio wise, yes, the Pura X is a little bit better than the 400 Pro. It's a bit weaker than the Magic 6 Pro, but haptics on the Magic 6 Pro is weaker for sure. On the Pura X, a lot stronger. You can see if they would fix it for the Magic 6 Pro, then it would beat even the Pura X there with 4.7 points probably. Security feature-wise, we have like security chips inside. We have excellent fingerprint reader here inside. We have security features that are built into a new operating system, HarmonyOS Next, that are not to be found on an Android-based operating system, just because Android is a bit older and its security standards and how it was like developed according to a different security standard, and they have to add on new security layers, where on HarmonyOS Next they from the get-go had security in mind, so build a new operating system that is more secure for sure. That is for this ranking here. That's it for the long-term review of the Honor 400 Pro. What do you think about it? Write it on the comment section. Until the next time. Bye. And of course I'm walking Timmy again here. This is why some of the footage is a bit shaky. Nevertheless, what is quite interesting is, and you might have noticed that, I took this footage with different phones because I didn't decide yet on a successor to a long-term review, and I have several candidates here, and this video has been done with 3 different phones. And now is the question if you can detect those phones. Aside from the Honor 400 Pro that I recorded some stuff with, there are some other phones as well involved here, and I'm pretty interested if you know which phones these are, and you can write them down in the comment section which phone should be the successor and which phone you think that I have recorded this video here with. Either this video and some other B-roll videos that I've done, or actually A-roll videos that I've done here. Write it on the comment section.